Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again. We got another fresh episode. Carlo, thank you for joining. You missed the last episode.
Yeah,
Which is
all good. Yeah, it was a good episode. So happy to be back, though.
Even more special, we have a really incredible brand that we're going to be doing, a little review and kind of like a deep dive into the brand story, which I know our audience really loves. Like, you know what? There's more to these simple garments than the eye might appear. So we're really happy to have Daniel from BTSA Apparel joining us. Hey, man, how are you?
Good, good. How are you guys?
We're doing
Doing
good.
good.
Yeah. I'm really interested to talk to you about the brand. Well, most importantly, because we've done some pretty significant volume, of lately. So we're really excited about that. Introducing a new style of product, but I won't get carried away here. Tell us first and foremost, like, what is the brand story? Like, where did it come about? How did you guys come about? I'm even interested in the name.
Yep.
Yeah, we came about actually, the founder, my boss, myself, we've been friends for about 10, 12 years now. We had a working relationship prior to BTSA, and we both come from more of the contemporary fashion wholesale side of the business, right? Um, the factory that we work out of in here, this building, 100,000 square foot space in Compton, California, has
Nice.
been a part of the family ownership since the 80s. So it's a longstanding facility here in Los Angeles. Now, about, I would say, towards the tail end of 2017, beginning of 2018, my founder CEO, his name is Bada Kim. He was already producing private label cut and sew garments for fashion clients, his friends, people in LA that we know and that we kind of grew up with, and all have their individual brands or retail stores or whatnot. That kind of evolved into an idea that he had to start a blanks program. But when we decided to do a blanks program, coming from the more fashion and specialized world that we lived in, we wanted it to be more special. We wanted the purpose of it to be a lot more customizable, and we wanted to obviously elevate the silhouettes and the fabrics and the process on which everyone is ordering their blanks right now. So we kind of went into it thinking like, oh, how can we make things different? How can we offer something that our homies would really be excited to use? And knowing the ecosystem of Los Angeles manufacturing and also having done garment dyed production for all these fashion companies in small batches, that whole garment dye is an amazing way to run, small runs or big runs locally here in Los Angeles. And there's a lot of history in manufacturing out here in Los Angeles, but to keep it nice and concise, we decided to utilize this ecosystem that lives out here and to create a premium blanks program that can be custom color dyed to order for all of our customers, big or small, where we would make it a lot simpler for somebody who has an amazing idea or just a platform that they want to push a more specialty product to have that option to take a nicer blank, to dye it whatever color they want to, and then go do whatever they want to do it with, right?
For
So
sure.
that's kind of how it started, and it's really cool. We were extremely blessed to be living in a network already of customers and friends who needed something like this. So off the bat, we were able to work with some amazing fashion brands and retailers and some large corporate companies as well. And then from there, just word of mouth, really just word of mouth and doing a good job for people, taking care of people, being transparent about the process, about timelines, just really gave us a trajectory to grow really, really fast without spending much money on marketing. So
For
it's
sure.
been a wild ride. It's been a really fun journey over the past few years. And obviously, the pandemic was a huge thing too. So We were fortunately one of the companies that definitely tried our best to help during the pandemic. And with that, we were able to still grow. Um, so we were part of initiatives with the city of LA to make masks for Kaiser Permanente, the National Guard, LA County in general, hospitals all over California. And with that, and with our ethos, we've been able to achieve what we are doing today with the team that I have now, which is amazing.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I was going to say that LA is definitely, you're definitely in the spot where
The
all
Mecca.
the Mecca, where all that goes down with cut
Yeah.
and sew and dyes and washes. And you
Mhm.
mentioned something like when you guys first started, you're making things that your homies will rock, and I think like that's special because
Yeah.
I'm down with any brand that is doing that first for their community. Because if you focus there first, and we kind of have the same story, like we want to make things that we want to wear, that are our type of culture and people want to wear, and then from there it turns into a business. And for you guys, it's starting to be a big business. I was like trying to go down a rabbit hole for BTSA, and I was looking at like trying to find things online. There's not much out there about you guys. It's like
No.
even your website is just a landing page. There's not even a catalog on there. You can't see any product.
We're breaking it here.
Now we're definitely breaking the story that we have the products that you can see. One question, when I see like brands that are a little discreet like that, or behind the scenes, if you will, is that intentional, that you can't really find much out there? Are you guys intentionally being a little bit secretive? And
It very much is intentional. Coming from the world that we came from, like the whole "if you know" kind of circle. Um,
I like it.
yeah,
there's many reasons why we wanted to do this too. One thing is it's really important for, and you guys are probably aware, if you're going to have a growing company, grow it right. You know, don't try to feed the beast too early, because you want every person that has an experience with your business to have a good experience, have a good taste in their mouth, right? So, knowing where we sat in the beginning and knowing what network we had existing around us, we said, hey, let's play in the pool that we know first, right? Because that pool can be considered pinnacle to certain people, and these are creative brands and individuals that we have grown up with on our sector of the industry, who have their own platform. And there's definitely audiences that look to them to see what they do and try to mimic for the next generation, right? So with that, we knew that with some of the pinnacle brands that we were working with off the bat, that the word of mouth was going to just spread naturally. And very blessed for my friends to be okay and be the ones to champion it in the beginning, where they gave us an opportunity to put their collection, put their fashion line in our blanks, did a great job for them, and then they went off and told all their friends, hey, you should work with the guys over at BTSA. They're gonna kill it for you. And that just kind of spread and spread and spread. And if you're in the right circle of creatives, then it's gonna touch the hands of the right people that make the right decisions, so that you can have an amazing client list, just through credibility and I guess good experiences, right? Also, the purpose of that too is, we want BTSA, in the beginning. We want it. It's kind of like a hidden treasure. If you come find us, you'll realize there's not a lot of companies that do what we do, because it's extremely difficult to try to garment dye small batch and keep your specs consistent, keep the colors consistent, keep the product just consistent through the lifelong of whoever's using it. And if we control our growth and we set the procedures in as we grow steadily, there's going to be a lot more longevity in what we can do with BTSA than for us to have a meteoric rise and then have a handful of negative experiences, kind of spoil it for everyone else trying to find us too, right?
Smart.
So
I like it.
Yeah, very
It's
smart.
a good strategy.
Yeah, I'm interested in how did you get into the apparel space? Did you go to like a fashion design school or anything like that? Like, what's kind of the origin for you personally? Did you grow up in this or school, or what was that kind of a platform to get into apparel?
The intro.
Yeah, what was the intro?
I'm actually a college dropout.
Same.
We all are.
So,
Michelle's the only one who completed it.
We should start a clothing brand called College Dropout.
Yeah, so too late. Kanye did it.
Kanye did it. Yeah,
Kanye
he did.
it, man.
But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I was always into apparel. So like back from high school, I always knew this is what I wanted to do. So even while I was going to junior college and while I was doing other stuff, I was interning for streetwear brands. I was working at retail shops. I was doing whatever I could. And obviously, I was very lucky to be in Los Angeles at the time.
Yep.
And during that time was the beginning of like the streetwear era, brands like the Hundreds and Diamond and, all those guys were coming up and, they needed young guys like me to be interning for them and like, picking up their trash at their industry parties and all that kind of stuff. So like, I really just started from just working retail. I worked retail at American Rag. I worked retail at Barney's, New York out here in LA. And then from there, just made connections and kind of inching my way into the industry, which was lucky enough to have met the right people, given the right opportunities. Ended up being a buyer for a contemporary luxury store in Los Angeles. From there, I did wholesale distribution for contemporary brands and luxury brands. From there, I did retail consulting and did wholesale luxury showrooms in Paris, in Denmark, in Japan, in New York. And then kind of the retail scene in the fashion world started dying with the rise of direct-to-consumer. And I had ended up with my boss right now, who used to own a fashion brand, actually. And I actually got brought in to be his sales director and creative director for the fashion line. And we relaunched his brand and we did it for 2 seasons. But in the midst of all that, he was making private label for his friends, utilizing the factory that we own here. And from there, my boss really was like, hey, what do you think about, selling the services of us making apparel? Because we make beautiful knits and jerseys, And then I was like, yeah, that's actually really exciting because I have more friends that are brands and that have these amazing ideas, but they need a better way to execute it, a more controlled way to execute it than sending a tech pack over to China.
Right.
And minimums are always a thing, for a growing creative to have to deal with overseas minimums and shipping and all that kind of stuff. So for a young creative to come in and for a facility like us to be okay with doing a low MOQ order for them, to see where this goes, to invest our time and our energy in that relationship, it's such an important part of what we do. So that was kind of his idea, like, hey, why don't we sell this service? And then that kind of snowballed. And then he was like, well, I always had this idea in the back of my head to do a blanks program. And then that snowballed and we all kind of clicked. We brainstormed, and being fashion oriented individuals in our company, we just started getting really picky with the fabrics, with the fits, with everything, because we wanted to wear it. It's like, we're not going to do it unless I'm not going to wear it. If I'm not going to wear it, I'm not going to make it. So at this point, I only wear BTSA t-shirts and sweaters.
Nice.
That's how we opened up. We're like, hey, who made your shirt? Can I
shirt.
guess? Yeah.
No, I love that. I love that journey, the story you just shared.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Because we're always, and we can hear the passion in your voice too, which is also it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
We're always telling, Culture Studio, we have a little over 200 employees now, and a lot of they're getting younger and younger as Rich and I get older and older.
Hey, I did a somersault.
I'm biologically.
I just did a somersault. So don't tell me about
biologically, I'm 27. Chronologically, I'm 40. But what I'm saying, they're younger and younger, and we keep telling them that they want to do a sprint when we're like, guys, this is a marathon. A lot of us been doing this for a long time, like the journey you just mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of different roles there, a lot of different opportunities.
Like
And,
a 12-year journey to this point, and
That's what I'm
like
saying.
that's
12-year overnight success.
and,
Yeah.
and you can't just walk in and think you're going to be there at the end. You got to go through this journey. Hopefully, not make the failures that we made, because we've seen them, and let us help you get there. So that's a great way to share the story. And I was going to say too, you guys are making some noise right now.
It's
you
great.
know, like BTSA.
Yeah.
Is on the map right now, doing some massive volume, and I can vouch for the things that we've been doing together, Rich, and obviously with Daniel, we've made some magic happen. And you know,
we have
some crazy, like even that alone, just to do some of the things that we've done together, and the volume that we've had to do it, and the time frame that we're given, is absolute magic. And that alone puts us and you guys way ahead of many others, because when you're presented with opportunities like that, I hear a big fat no a lot of the times, or like, we can't do it, or we need this time frame. And I think the way that you guys have gone about it just shows why it's special, and what it's just probably just the beginnings of what you guys are going to achieve.
And that's what I'm really interested in, you know, our audience, you know, can get this like thought process of like, the garments just fall from China, right? Like, oh yeah, I don't know, the garments appear. So can you go kind of do a deep dive, like like you started to on the background, and like now lead into, so when an order is placed, what is the process? Are you guys doing cut and sew every single time custom, and then going into garment dye? Or I'm really, I know the audience would love to hear like, what is the actual process? And I think that gives a lot of like relative basis around like, okay, this is why this takes some time, and this is why, it is special, in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, before I get into that, thank you, Carlo, for that amazing little blurb about us. I really appreciate that you guys do like to work with us, and we really do enjoy working with you guys too. So I'm coming to Chicago soon, and we're gonna fucking celebrate.
All right, now we're talking about.
Yeah, no,
Am I allowed to drop that?
You can swear on this show, 100%.
Okay, it's not NBC.
This is not a family show.
We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna get together. We're gonna have fun, because what is this work without having to enjoy and revel in what we can do and what we can accomplish together, So
yeah, 100%.
Super hyped, super amped that we got to do those jobs together, and really looking forward to more with you guys, and want to build that relationship heavy. So thank you guys. Now to speak to the other part, exactly.
Yep.
It's, the process is, there's a lot, right? We do a lot here, but if I want to simplify it, the basis of what we do is a PFD blank garment. PFD means prepared for dye. That means we have a fully sewn 100% cotton t-shirt blank, hoodie blank, sweatpant blank, whatever it is. We have that built in with the shrinkage applied to it, and then that goes into a garment dye process, right? So we're not cut to order, we're dye to order, which meaning we have that inventory living in all sizes and all styles as a non-dyed blank. Now, this is also, slightly a sustainable position as well. We all know all the other blanks companies out there, they stock, 20, 30 colors, and that's what they have. And you can only pick between those colors, right? Also, these guys are making thousands and thousands and thousands of units of these colors, which we don't know if every single color is selling out to the piece, or we don't know where some of that excess inventory goes. And, just this industry in general creates a lot of waste, right?
Yep.
So what we do is we try to have almost everything ready, have the garment ready, have the inventory ready, have the dye formulas ready for someone to come in and be like, hey, I need this powder blue TCX Pantone code t-shirt made. Well, yeah, give it to me. Give me that Pantone code. I'll create what you call as a lab dip. A lab dip is when the dye team takes that Pantone code and they chemically match it into creating a dye formula. And that's custom to how they do it at that facility. And that comes back to us as a lab dip swatch, which is usually like a 2-inch by 2-inch square. And then we send a piece of that to our customer. Hey, do you like this? And that part of the process is free. And you can develop as many colors as you want, but they're going to come in as little swatches, right? Then the customer has an option to sample it in, one or two garments before they commit to a bulk order against that color, right? Um, it's a 1 to 2 week process. We do all the legwork. You just need to submit the order. We take that blank and we dye it in that specific color, 1 or 2 pieces. There's a sample dye fee, and then the customer gets it. Oh my God, I love this color. I love this hoodie. I need to order 150 for my brand. Can you send it to Culture Studios to get printed, right? Boom, we'll get the purchase order. We'll pull the units. We'll send it to dye. We'll bring it back. And the important part is that we'll QC, we'll quality control everything. Because when you're putting a fully sewn in garment into an industrial dye process, it is far more harsh than a home washing machine, right? So even though our garments are made to withstand this process and they're ultra premium, there is going to be a damage rate. Human errors happen. Not everything is perfect. So to control all this and make sure that our customers are getting only first quality grade A goods, we do quality control of every single piece that comes back. Bundle it, pack it up, get it out to you guys to print it, and there you guys go. You guys have seen it. You guys have opened our boxes. It comes ready to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually, I'm nerding out listening to you with the process. And I think a lot of the audience will too, because just learning the behind the scenes of kind of what goes into all this, it helps even with the buying, it helps with the selling when we're trying to pick certain brands to go to. So very interesting for sure.
And like the biggest pushback, obviously with the growth of this and what I'm seeing is our industry is very used to doing things a certain way, Carlos spoke about it before too, how, big companies will just refuse or deny to take on certain jobs because it doesn't fit within the framework of how they operate, but you guys know, and I know, to be younger and hungrier and more agile in this industry, you have to come up with creative solutions on how to push a better service, a better product, something that we know with our experience that is going to ultimately generate a more loyal customer base solely on the quality and the specialty of the product, right? So a huge pushback that we get is the timelines, right? We're obviously not stocking all the colors. So if you wanted to order, this very special off yellow color from us, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks.
Can't get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's like, that can irk people, but, really telling that story and helping people understand that this color or this t-shirt, you're not going to find it anywhere else. So that in itself is going to set your offering apart from the ultra saturated market that we live in, where you can just scroll on Instagram, find a new brand in 2 seconds and be like, oh, that looks cool, and put it in your cart. Right. So on a business level, if you're trying to set yourself apart through the sea of startup brands and merch culture that's so strong right now, what are the little things that you can do to set yourself apart? And it's as simple as having your own blank color, right?
Yeah, and then that color can be appreciated. So I don't mind the time. I mean, we know we're up against deadlines every day, all day. 24 hours a day.
In a weird way, you're kind of helping the industry. You're definitely helping the printer. Where
setting it apart is nice. Having something to appreciate is thoughtful.
Yeah, if you want a piece like this that's going to come with the quality that you guys have, you're almost changing the expectation of an industry that demands it so quickly. Where it's like, well, cool, we can do things quickly, but if you want this level of quality, everyone's got to change their buying habits.
If this level of unique, then
change your buying habits a little bit. You have to get it in a little earlier. You have to plan your product line a little earlier. It's like pushing a little discipline on all of us. No, we get that product line, we get the approval, and like we have a day to produce it. Well, now everyone's got to up their game a little bit and try to get these approvals a little faster. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps that some of the more creatively pinnacle brands are using the similar products. So it's like, hey, if you want to mimic this culture that's so strong right now, that's happening right now, well then if you're trying to mimic and speak to that same audience, well then you're going to need to change your timelines and understand that if you're trying to offer something special, that doesn't happen overnight. You know, it really doesn't. Now, like, it's really cool. Like, it makes me want to bring up some of the really cool stuff that we can do, right? Because
I was
it's
gonna
a
say,
blank canvas.
show us some new stuff. Show us some stuff we don't
So-
have here.
Good stuff. Yeah.
So, like, this is really cool. I have to step back.
It's like
Yeah.
a
This is one of our
velour.
hoodies.
Yeah,
No, this is our hoodie, but it's
in a blend.
gone through.
Ah,
No, it's not a blend. It's 100% cotton.
No, I
thought-
mean
so.
blend in the color.
I thought it was a
you're
suede
taking a
or
lighter
something.
color and going into
Yeah.
to a darker color. Michelle, you were
So
working on
this-
something very similar. I like that.
This is actually a potassium spray. So, you know, we have all these like really cool Japanese brands and like these vintage inspired brands that want to mimic like an 80-year-old hoodie that's been sun faded, that's been sitting out in the sun, that's been distressed, you know, and there's like value in that artisanal, you know, distressing process, right? Well, this is really cool because this is a garment dyed hoodie that's been put on a body form and that's been hand airbrushed like a work of art, sprayed with this, you know, potassium that fades the color out in very specialized areas. So we have people who give us, you know, vintage T-shirts and vintage hoodies. It's like, hey, can we mimic this? And we'll attempt the sun fade from the shoulder down or from the hood down, and then we'll even throw in like a nicking and grinding process,
Yep.
so that the hoodie gets a little bit distressed, right? And it creates that that specialness that we were all talking about.
A vintage,
Right?
That's sick,
one of
yeah.
a kind.
That's
Yeah.
vintage.
Two
Yeah.
samples and extra large at the Culture Studio Chicago.
I'm a large. I'm
I got you guys.
I'm large
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, you're large on the
I
weekend.
play pickleball, so pickleball. I'm a large now, sir.
That's sick.
Yeah, Danny, I was going to ask you, and you kind of went into it already, but you know, we're talking about you know, how technology is you know, affecting our industry and what we're excited about. You know, what are you excited about? You know, what does the future look like on your side of the business? Like, is there something that's coming that you guys have been waiting for, or you know, tell us like one you know, futuristic move that you're seeing. Maybe a little bit out and it's not here yet, or maybe it's like a piece of machinery. Is there anything that you guys are like really, really excited about the future?
I mean, we're always excited about like new toys, right? Like new toys is like, yeah, like let's get some new technology in here. So automation is definitely something that we're looking into. We're already using automated cutting machines and all that kind of stuff. So automation with the warehouse, there's some really cool technology with automated sewing machines that are happening and all this kind of stuff. And
Are those out yet? Like, have you seen one yet? Because we've heard about
we
that
have.
yeah, nice. Yeah, we got to check that out.
They're out. You know, they're still, from what I hear, they're not like fully dialed yet, but obviously, you know, it's like bittersweet, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we take pride in the hands that touch our product. But also a caveat to that is, you know, everybody wants to offer a better price point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we can still have this be handmade, but have certain parts of the process be automated, then we can mitigate some of the costs, the labor costs involved with making these garments, especially making them domestically, because we do make, you know, 95% of our product here in LA.
Even the PFD.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
we
nice.
cut. So
Kill
it's the yarn. The yarns are U.S. yarns. We bring them over. We knit it down here. We finish the fabrics here. We cut and sew here. Everything dyes done here. And there's a small portion of our business where we sew them in Mexico, but that's really just for custom bulk orders that are looking for a better price point, right? So with automation, we can attempt to bring a fully made in USA product at a better price point, mitigating the labor costs. But I say bittersweet because we also love the people that work on our garments, and we want, you know, a workforce here as well. So it's finding a balance to making sure that we still have a workforce, that we're employing, you know, the locals, but we're improving our process through technology with checks and balances, with automated systems that will catch human error. You know, that kind of stuff is exciting to me. Other than that, I mean, all the technology is on your guys' side of the business, because to make a garment's not going to change too much, right? There's exciting technology for me on the sustainable side where, creating a wearable cotton garment goes through so many chemical washes and so many harmful, polluting processes that a lot of people don't like to speak about because, like, who likes to talk about the ugly shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But there is technology that's not available yet that I know that it's being created, with like algae and seaweed and other like natural,
Sustainable,
bacteria.
yeah.
That can help reduce the amount of chemicals that goes into a cotton garment to be wearable, cotton or wool. Reduces that synthetic finishing process and really makes it more of a holistic, natural process to make a garment wearable. We're definitely not there yet, but that's some technology that I'm keeping an eye on to see how we can utilize it as it grows. I'm not going to say that we're pioneers. We're not pioneers here. Like, let's be real. Like, it's a fucking t-shirt. It's a hoodie.
Just a shirt.
No, I mean, I love where you're going with there, and I love that you talked about like the people aspect. Like part of mass commercial screen printing at scale involves a significant amount of people, and we're always talking about like at what point can we load and unload a screen printing press with a pair of arms, right? Like with robotics. And it's not the same, like you said, it's definitely not there yet, but it is soon to come. But we do believe when that time does come, that those people will be into new roles. We're not going to get rid of them. They'll then start to become, learn engineering. Now, certainly some people won't be able to just pick up engineering, but the new generation of people that come in, team members that join, may be more engineers than people loading and unloading. And then they may be, more on the quality control side. They may be more on the creative side of like how creatively do we get the product made. So I think just in history we were worried about the printing press, we were worried about mobile, we were worried about the internet, and yet human nature and we just keep evolving. So I think we're all good and excited about automation, but I like where you went with we care about our teams too. We still care about the people.
And like a really important topic of that is how many of us really think that the Gen Z, as they grow up, are going to want to do manual labor? Right?
Say I. Says no one. Right.
Exactly. Right. So we need to prep for all that too, because as the physical workforce ages out, there needs to be a transition into still pumping out the same volume, but with less hands that are willing to do the actual physical work, right? Yep. So that in turn becomes more of everyone communicating with each other, right? With what we're doing, with what Amazon's doing, with on-demand, with all these people are doing with on-demand type businesses, who knows? The future of our industry might be one person talking to one person about how to specially make everything that lives in that one person's closet, and everything's just custom order after custom order. Who knows, that might be the trajectory of retail in the next 20, 30 years, right? Yep. Because everyone will still need to work and the population is not shrinking, but it's like, how does everyone work together and still make and do what they want, right?
Yep.
So
yeah. Well, for now, let's just keep cranking out tour merch until that shit happens.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be just retail. I think it may just be everything. Yeah. I mean, our trip to Carlo and I went to a Sweet Green. You guys have Sweet Green out there? It's like salad.
Of course.
Salad shop. We were going because we thought they had the automated system, that we thought like, we saw it on the, TikTok or something like that. We're like, oh, let's go check out the Sweet Green. Horrendous experience. It was terrible. Yeah. And you think like there is a better way. You should just walk up to a screen and say, give me the Caesar with the hummus, with the croutons, and it just shoots out into the bowl. But instead there's this whole awkward subway, like where you're like awkwardly looking at the ingredients and like walking through the hospital line.
You got nervous.
I got nervous. I didn't even get anything. I got like 3 pieces of lettuce because I just got so nervous there.
He got nervous. He was going to add a couple of carrots.
Yes,
and
it could be better. It's how maybe it ought to be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one thing I wanted to, maybe we can kind of wrap up here soon, but
and we could probably do this all day.
I
I
could roll all day.
Great.
But one thing I wanted to say, like, Daniel, with listening to you talk and as we build our relationship, there are some people you come across, Rich, right, that stand out. And Daniel, you're one of them. I feel like you're one of these guys.
Very great.
We got to keep our eyes on you because you're going to do some incredible shit in this industry. And I feel like we're going to look back 10, 15 years from now and be like, damn, I remember Daniel, whatever he's doing now or whatever he's taking this company to, you're something special. I can see that in you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate what you bring to the table.
Thank you. And it's really like, you guys understand this. It's about building relationships. We can talk about technology, automation all day, right? But at the end of the day, we all need to face the world and talk to people, whether we like them or not. And why not make that experience enjoyable?
Why not?
Yeah.
I did this because I didn't want to wear a suit every day, because I wanted to do what I love to do every day, and it's just like, let's make it enjoyable and let's have fun while we're doing it. Problems are going to happen. Shitstorms are going to happen. But as long as we can all like make our money, but have the time and the energy to do what we love to do, I mean, it makes it all worth it, I feel like.
100%, man. Well,
we might
said.
just clip that if you don't mind. Michelle's just clipping that for the intro part. Yeah, thanks. This has been incredible. Hopefully this is not the last episode that we do together. We'd love to have you back on. We probably just scratched the surface, and we do try to keep them some relative length because people have short attention spans. But I feel a part 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it in Chicago. I want some deep dish. I want some wings. I want to go to a Bulls game. Let's do it.
Bro, you're coming to the right spot for that.
We got to tell you, locals don't eat deep dish, though.
I do.
Oh, really?
I love a deep dish, man. Speak for yourself, bro.
I want a bison burger.
There you go.
A bison hot dog.
Let's do it.
If Carlo likes it, it's 100% not for you. You will not like it. It's terrible. Trust me. And whatever he says, opposite.
True.
Always.
When it comes to
opposite.
food. Yeah. He's bougie like that. We'll have a good time over here in Chicago, man. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, man.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank
Later.
you so much. See you later.